Hello and welcome back. Just like many others, I watched a lot of Repaint videos wondering what would it be like if I tried it one day. I believe that everybody's first struggle are the materials, and that's why I decided to make this video, to show you some alternatives. And of course, it will be a Repaint video. Meet Operetta. This was my very first doll, and she has been my lab rat in all my journey. That's why her face is a mess. In my country, it's very difficult to buy some Mr. Super Clear. Also, it is very expensive. We all know by now that Incredible Delightful made a budget video, and it could have been more amazing. You might start customizing with acrylic paints, but if you want to start with color pencils, I recommend the brand I use, Prismacolor Premiere. These color pencils were the ones I bought when I was studying at college. That's why there are super tiny ones. The amount of colors and shades is amazing, though they are not watercolors. If you want to practice with a sealant, use a cheaper method, and this was mine. Matte nail polish. It sounds weird, but the texture you gain by this is very good, and the colors stick to it very nicely. You only need one coat, let it dry, and you can start. If you want to try it, this is a tip. Use it only on the area you want to repaint. For example, the eyes, lips, and space for the brows. This might not be the best method, but it's very useful while you discover your own style. As you can see, the color pencils directly on the vinyl don't stick very well, but once the polish dries, it changes the whole game. Pros? Well, colors stick very well. It's not toxic as MSC and cleans very easy. Cons? When it dries, the edges show a lot, so you have to clean them later with acetone. Also, if somehow you squish the doll's face, it will crack. I bought this apple white because I really liked the design, but her face was a mess, so I tried to repaint her. I actually used the nail polish method, but if we zoom in, you can see that the edges of the polish became shiny, and as I told you, if you squish the doll, it just cracks. The whole eye just came off. As I told you, this was my first method, and now I'm going to show you all the things I use. Brushes, a lot of brushes. If you want to make small details, don't miss the chance to buy a pack of brushes, and they are actually not that expensive. If you somehow own some makeup brushes, they are actually perfect for blushing and contouring. When I started, I used to apply blush with eyeshadow, but if you can get some pastels, do it. It changes so much, and also they are very cheap. You actually don't need a huge amount of colors. You can get a lot of colors by mixing the primary ones. And now, in search for my personal method to seal the dolls, I found this one, True Film Matte Spray by Rodin. This is a very cheap matte sealant, and I only use it to seal through each layer. And for the repaint, I found this beauty, Matt Gel by Liquitex. This gel applies with a brush, but you don't have to really worry, because the brush strokes don't show at all. And the best part is that it's really safe to apply, because it really doesn't smell like any other sprays. You actually could use only this gel, but the downside is that you might pick up the color with the brush. That's the reason I bought an extremely cheap matte sealant, to seal each layer and apply the gel afterwards. For real, you can get MSC in my country for $80, while for one can of True Film and the matte gel, I spent like $21. I am very happy with how it works too. I'm not trying to tell you that this is way better than MSC. I mean, that sealant is the best for doll repaints. But this is my alternative to you if you don't want to spend a lot of money and you're a little afraid of high toxic fumes. True Film is also toxic, so if you would like to use it, please protect your lungs. So these are my tips for you. Now let's give Apple White a new face, while I answer some of the questions you left on my last video. First, I am going to answer something that a lot of you asked me. Where are you from? Well, I'm from Mexico. Nice to meet you. My friend Bozena from Doll's Brand New Look asked me, what's your favorite character from the movie? I really don't know what movie specifically, but I would say Viper and Gorgon. Her design is amazing. Another question was, how did you got into doll customizing? Well, let's just say that I'm a YouTube procrastinator. I spend a lot of time watching videos, and when Monster High popped into the world, I used to watch reviews of the dolls just to satisfy my interest in buying one. And one day, YouTube suggested me one video from an awesome artist, the Wendigo repaint from Delightful. It was like love at first sight. From Eric Gonzalez, what's your favorite doll brand? Monster High, 100%. I really like Ever After High too, because they have more curves. but the face mold of Monster High dolls are so unique. From motion with dolls, how do you discover Monster and Ever After High? I used to watch a lot of TV and the ads just kept coming and coming. Once in a while, I used to walk through the toy stores and just watch them in their boxes. From Ella Motley, what's your favorite video game? Bayonetta. I really love the art, I love the gameplay, and I love how sexy and badass she is. From TW Art Studio, what's your next high fashion doll idea? Well, I'm planning a collab with a special friend, so stay tuned. From Well of Henry, what's your dream doll repaint like? I really want to create a Mexican-inspired look that brings up the beautiful colors of my country. From May Isa Tia, who's your favorite YouTuber? Nikki Tutorials. She's so unique, she's so beautiful, and she's so kind. She's simply the best. From the Redhead with Red, favorite doll to repaint? Cleo Denial. Her face sculpt is so beautiful. And from Magdalena Barkowska, when did you make your very first repaint? Was it always your dream, or it just happened? My first repaint was a Sleeping Draculaura back in April 2017. I could say it was a dream of mine to start repainting after watching so many videos from very talented artists. To finish the doll, I am going to use some clear nail polish. I know, I said before that you should never use this, but after experimenting with my new sealants, it worked just fine. Still, I'm searching for some Liquitex high gloss varnish, because that's the best of the best. For the eyelashes, I like to use some thick nail polish too. Glue doesn't work for me at all, and nail polish dries very quickly. And that's it for today's video. I really hope you learned something from me and that you try some of the products I mentioned. I really want to share with you that I hesitate a lot before starting this hobby, because I was very afraid of what people could say to me. They were not very used to watch boys with dolls. Don't be afraid to be yourself. If people judge you for something you like, and that something isn't hurting anyone, just don't pay attention. Always do what makes you happy. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you like my work. You can always follow me on Instagram on Kiras_workshop. And if you create something, tag me so I can watch it. I really like reading your comments. Have a wonderful day and be happy. Bye!